Hi gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I will be talking about some fragrances that I have been obsessed with. These are fragrances that I've been reaching for over and over again. I've been layering them, wearing them alone, and they've put a smile on my face every single time. So if you're interested in seeing what these fragrances are, then please keep watching. Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. I hope wherever you are, your day is going amazingly well, and I'm really excited for us to chit chat about fragrances. But before we jump in, I want to thank those of you who clicked on the thumbnail and may be new here. On this channel, I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle in my monthly vlogs. So if any of those things sound good to you, then I would love to have you here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. So this first fragrance is Queening by Mind Games. This is my very first fragrance from the house Mind Games, but I have smelled quite a bit of the fragrances. After sniffing so many of their fragrances, which there are so many beautiful fragrances in this house, this was the one I felt really stood out to me and was really different than anything I have previously smelled. This fragrance gives off princess vibes. Although it's called Queening, to me, it's more of a princess essence. And I absolutely love the way this makes me feel. This fragrance is an ultra feminine fragrance. It's floral, it's slightly lactonic, it has this buttery aspect, it has a very light creaminess to it. It's a very alluring fragrance, a very captivating fragrance. This is a very whimsical fragrance as well. And whenever I have this on, I instantly feel princess-like. And this is one that has totally captivated me. I have been reaching for this over and over again. So Mind Games Queening has top notes of cotton flower, apple, and cypress, middle notes of orris root, rum, and saffron, and then coconut, vanilla, and musk at the base. To me, the first blast of this is very soft and gives off the feel of cotton. Not necessarily the smell of laundry, but the feel of laundry, the feel of fabric, the feel of cotton. It's very soft. And thereafter, the orris is what comes through to me. And although there is saffron in here, there's rum at the mid, the orris is the note that I quite enjoy and that is more prominent to my nose. I love how slightly earthy and powdery and buttery the orris comes across. I feel like it really stabilizes the way this fragrance comes across. It's a perfect mid note for this fragrance. And I feel like it's part of the reason why this fragrance comes across as so princess-like. And then, as I mentioned, at the base of this fragrance, you have coconut, and the coconut is done so beautifully in here. It's not your typical coconut. It just adds some depth and heft and body to this fragrance, but in a very soft way. I love the slight lactonic vibes this fragrance has as it begins to dry down. There is a musk at the base of this as well, but it's a very subtle musk, and then the vanilla adds to the sweetness of this fragrance, I think. And overall, I just absolutely love this fragrance. It is one that I've reached for over and over again, and it's just made me so happy. So this is Queening by Mind Games. In keeping with those super duper feminine vibes, the next fragrance I have here is an Arabian fragrance that really encapsulates femininity in a bottle. And this is All Remains Janon Rose. This fragrance is supposed to be a dupe of Amouage's Blossom Love. I did do a comparison video where I talked about the differences and the similarities. So if you're interested in that video, I will link it here. And so this fragrance right here is just so absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful fragrance. It has so many of the same notes as Amouage's Blossom Love. I was able to get a decant of Blossom Love, and they are indeed quite similar, except that this one is super powdery. So if you do not like powdery scents, then you may not enjoy this one, but this is one that I quite enjoy because it is warming up here where I live. And although in general, I'm not like a powdery fragrance type of girl, when it is warm, I absolutely love a good powdery scent because it keeps you smelling fresh, almost as if you had dusted yourself with powder after your shower. So I feel like that's what I get with this fragrance. I wore it the other day. It was a very hot and humid day, and I felt fresh the entire time I was out, and this kept wafting up to my nose the entire day. So this is a gorgeous fragrance for the price. absolutely gorgeous. And if you are looking for something along the veins of Amouage's Blossom Love, but you don't want to break the bank, I would highly recommend this because not only does it get close to that fragrance, but it performs. It performs. It lasts all day long and then it projects. So in my personal experience, this is absolutely fantastic. Janon Rose has top notes of cherry blossom, ylang ylang, and bergamot. Middle notes of amaretto, powdery notes, rose, and heliotrope, suede, tonka bean, and amber. So again, this fragrance is one that makes me feel absolutely beautiful and feminine and soft and also clean. This is one of those fresh and clean type of scents. One of the things I love about the opening of this fragrance is it has a beautiful cherry blossom, which does in fact give you that like cherry-like nuance. And then it has ylang ylang, which is a note I've been completely obsessed with recently here. I have so many fragrances with ylang ylang and I'm absolutely loving that note. I love the tropical nuance of ylang ylang and I also love the banana-like nuance of that note. So it's a fragrance note that if you can't already tell, I've been enjoying a lot. And so this fragrance opens up with that beautiful ylang ylang and cherry blossom. It's very bright, fresh, cherry-like, and also a little bit dense. And then as this fragrance starts to dry down, it starts to get powdery. There's heliotrope as well as powdery notes at the mid of this fragrance. So this fragrance is definitely on the powdery side. I don't get too much suede. Suede is at the base of this fragrance. I don't really pick up on suede, but there is an amber and tonka bean in here as well. So this fragrance is very powdery, it's very sweet, it's floral, but it also has a little bit of creaminess to it due to the tonka bean and amber. Overall, this fragrance is a super powdery, fresh and clean feeling, super feminine and super sophisticated scent. This is one that makes me feel absolutely beautiful and one that I've been reaching for quite a bit, and I'm currently obsessed. The next fragrance I have here is another one that makes me feel extremely beautiful, soft, and feminine. And I'm starting to notice a pattern here. These last few fragrances are super duper feminine and soft, clean girl type of scents. And this one sits squarely in that category. This is Cosmic by Kylie Jenner. So Cosmic is a fragrance that I did not expect to enjoy as much as I do. And I'm learning nowadays that sometimes you just have to give things a sniff and give them a try because you never know. This is a fragrance that I was not expecting to be head over heels for. As of late, I haven't been interested in celebrity fragrances. I've tried tons of them in the past and I always end up decluttering them. And so I wasn't expecting much from this fragrance. But when I went into Ulta and smelled this fragrance, I didn't leave with it right away. I sprayed it on my skin on a tester card, took the tester card home, and I kept sniffing myself and I could not get enough of the scent. And so a day later, I went back to the store. I sniffed the fragrance again. I did the same exact thing. I sprayed it on my hand, I sprayed it on my arm, I sprayed it on a tester card, and I walked around the store. And ultimately, I left the store with this fragrance. It is beautiful. Cosmic has top notes of jasmine and blood orange. It has middle notes of amber and peony, and base notes of musk, vanilla, and cedar. So what I love about this fragrance is it has a very sensual appeal. It smells sensual. It smells soft. It smells warm, but it's not like a heavy or deep sort of warmth. It's a very soft and sheer warmth. And I think it's due to the amber that's at the mid of this fragrance, and it also has a gorgeous peony at the mid. To my nose, I don't pick up on a ton of jasmine. Instead, I get more of that peony. I do have a couple of other fragrances with peony, so I went and sniffed them, and that's definitely what I'm picking up in this fragrance, is that beautiful peony. There is a musky quality to this fragrance, which again, I feel like adds to that sheer feel, that sheer soft feel. And then this has vanilla at the base as well, which I feel adds to the sweetness. This fragrance is not overly sweet. It's not like dense. It's not heavy. It's an everyday fragrance all year round, very likable scent. This is like the perfect work scent, the perfect appointment scent. It's so beautiful. And I've been reaching for this a lot. This one is definitely a compliment getter. I've gotten several compliments on this fragrance when I wore it out. And so this is one that I absolutely have been enjoying. Super feminine, very sensual, slightly sweet type of scent. So the next scent I have here is a body spray, and this is Let the Good Times Roll by Lush. I picked up this body spray during a visit to Lush with my daughter. I was really going there to get her some bath bombs, and when I smelled this, I had to pick it up. This is such a gorgeous body spray. This is a body spray that I feel performs like an eau de parfum. I get about 4 to 5 hours of wear on this one, where I can still pick it up and it's still wafting up to my nose. And then when you first spray this, within like the first couple of hours, it gives huge projection and huge sillage. This is a scent that sort of sits in the air, so people are going to smell you, and this is just a gorgeous body spray. I think this body spray is perfect for the summertime because there's still a bit of lightness and brightness and freshness to it. Even though this fragrance is a gourmand, a very sweet, edible smelling fragrance, it still has like this fresh feel, this candy-like, very bright feel. And I feel like this is so refreshing. And because it's a body spray, I spray liberally. I like to layer this with other fragrances by spraying this on top. And it's just beautiful. I love this scent. Let the Good Times Roll has a very simple note list. It has butter, caramel, popcorn, and cinnamon. So this fragrance is what I would call a very fun fragrance. This one puts me in the mind of being at a fair or being at a carnival, somewhere where there is lots of cotton candy and lots of sugar treats, lots of fried food and elephant ears and all of that good stuff. That's what this smells like. This smells like I'm having a bag of kettle corn, which is a very caramelized sweet popcorn with a side of cotton candy. So very bright and just sugary sweet cotton candy on the side. And you're sort of catching the wafts of the cotton candy over that kettle corn, that caramel corn. And this is just so much fun, and it feels fresh in a body spray form. It doesn't get cloying. It doesn't get heavy or dense. It's something that you can spritz on even in the dead of summer and still be able to enjoy those edible gourmand type of notes without feeling overwhelmed and without choking anybody out. So I absolutely love this scent. Many of you agree with me that you love this scent as well. And yeah, this one isn't the most affordable body spray. I do think it's on the pricey side. However, it does perform like an eau de parfum for me. So in that regard, I definitely don't mind having spent the $40 and change on this. I think it's well worth it, and I've been enjoying this a lot. The last fragrance that I've been completely obsessed with ever since I first added this to my collection is another Arabian scent, and this is Tasking Caramel Cascade by Paris Corner. This is one that I did a sort of unboxing first impression video of, and I also did a follow-up update for this fragrance as well. So I will link those videos here so you can go back and reference. But y'all, I have truly been enjoying this fragrance. I love it so much. This fragrance has become a layering fragrance for me. I have layered this with pretty much any type of fragrance you can think of. Fresh fragrances. I've layered this with powdery scents, floral scents. I've layered it with warm spicy scents. I've layered it with even fresh scents, and this pairs so beautifully with so many different types of scent categories. This fragrance has top notes of caramel, milk, middle notes of tonka bean and honey, and base notes of vanilla and white musk. So to my nose, this fragrance is a very caramel forward lactonic scent with a honeyed element. The caramel is super prominent to my nose, and the honey is there. It's like a hint of honey. And I just love this fragrance. I think it's so good. This fragrance is also musky, and I feel like the musk in here almost creates this feel and this illusion of being enveloped in all of that caramel, milky, honeyed goodness. I feel like that's what the musk does in here. This is a fragrance that worked out for me when I first received it. I usually don't have a problem with Paris Corner fragrances. I'm usually able to start wearing them right away, and this fragrance was no exception for me. However, I have heard that many people have had to let this sit. Some people say they get licorice or root beer from this fragrance, and I did not get that at first. I'm certainly not getting it now, and so for that reason, I don't think this fragrance is a safe blind buy. I think you should definitely try and get a sample of this, but for me, this was an amazing purchase. This is a fragrance that I think smells extremely similar to the viral and hyped Bianco Latte for a fraction of the cost on the Arabian side of things. And me being a gourmand girly, I have absolutely been enjoying this fragrance. Whenever I want something extra sweet and dense, this is what I reach for. If I want to add a bit of sweetness and denseness to any fragrance, this is what I've been reaching for. If I'm looking to add a lactonic essence or facet to any scent, this is what I've been reaching for. So I have absolutely been loving Tasking Caramel Cascade by Paris Corner. All right, friend, thank you so much for still being here and watching to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like on your way out because that really helps my channel. And also before you leave, I'd love for you to share 3 fragrances that you've been absolutely obsessed with and that you've been reaching for over and over again. Drop it down in the comments because I would love to know. Before you click off the video today, I wanted to share something I pulled away from a sermon I was listening to this week. And the thought I pulled away was conviction. Conviction is defined as a firmly held opinion or belief. Before we can set goals or plans, we have to truly be convicted about something. We have to have a firmly held opinion or belief. And that firmly held belief or opinion should drive our decision making every single day. I just sort of feel the most proud and the most grounded when I am operating from a space of what are my convictions and how do these choices line up with the convictions every single day. For me personally, my convictions and therefore my actions, like the choices I make every single day, align with my relationship with Jesus. That relationship serves as a compass. It gives me direction. It gives me peace. It gives me refuge. And so I would challenge you today to think about your convictions. Think about how your choices every single day may or may not line up with those convictions. I think that's so important to just keep us grounded and just help us from being all over the place in our relationships and how we treat other people and how we manage and steward our finances and just everything, just life in general. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.